Mr. Shibu Lal onto the dais. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome a very prominent visionary of our place. Very thankful for Shibu Lal to be being with us. May I request Ranjini Umesh, Treasurer, to kindly occupy the seat on the dais. May I request Damodar Avanur, President-elect of TAI, Kerala, the Speaker of the Day, special address speaker, also to kindly occupy the seat on the dais. We will be moving on fast in the, we are cutting short of certain protocols because we will be listening to Shibu Lal, then we will be handing over the most prestigious awards of Calicut Management Association. After that, we will be listening to the reply speech of the awardees. So now may I request Ashik to kindly do the brief welcome address for the valedictory function.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know that you are all anxiously waiting for the speech of Chief Guest. So on behalf of all, I welcome Mr. Shibu Lal, the co-founder of Infosys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We also welcome President-elect of TAI Kerala, Damodar Avanur, also for this valedictory session, who is a special speaker for the day. Now may I request C.A. Ranjini, Treasurer, Calicut Management Association, to kindly introduce the chief guest.
We have come to the close of our flagship Silver Jubilee Management Convention 2022, graced by star speakers who gave us powerful and stimulating talks and insights with enthusiastic participation by the audience. Now it's time to move to the valedictory session and awards distribution, for which we have our esteemed chief guest, Mr. Shibu Lal, co-founder Infosys Limited. He's a well-known personality who needs no introduction. However, let me briefly introduce him as a part of protocol. He is one of the 7 founder members of Infosys Limited and was the Chief Executive Director and Managing Director. He also worked with Sun Microsystems in the US, and he was responsible for designing and implementing Sun's first e-commerce application in 2014. He was co-founded Acceler Ventures, a venture capital service for young entrepreneurs. With these few words, ladies and gentlemen, let me present before you Mr. Shibu Lal. Over to you, sir.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure for me to be here. I'm very privileged to be part of this annual management convention 2022 and being part of this 25th anniversary. At the outset, I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me here today. So when I was listening to the previous speech, I graduated from my college. I did my post-graduation from SN College, Koilon in 1977. At that time, Keltron was a dream job, especially for someone who graduated with physics, electronics, right? I was a physics postgraduate with electronics specialization, and Keltron was a dream job. So actually, fate had it in various other ways, and I ended up joining Bombay Electric Supply and Transport. So, but I always had a soft corner for Keltron. I was very proud of Keltron's achievement when I was around at that time. Recently, we celebrated 75 years of our independence with great enthusiasm. No doubt, we had a lot to celebrate about. We have come a long way from where we were in 1947. In the 50s, our focus was on planning and infrastructure. In the 60s, we brought in food security through Green Revolution. In the 70s, 90s, we forayed into space by launching our first satellite and never looked back. 80s and 90s, we tested our first missile and successfully became a nuclear power. And of course, with opening of the economy, we developed at a phenomenal rate over the last many years. Today, by any means, we are a formidable force in the world. I clearly believe India will continue to excel in many areas to create progress, not only for ourselves, but for the entire humanity. So when I was thinking of coming here, I was looking at the tagline for the conference and thinking about what to speak about. Being a technologist, the first two things which came to my mind was about technology, especially about technology for 1 billion people. Of course, all of you know about Infosys. I joined in 81. We started, 7 of us started Infosys together in 1981. I had the good fortune of traveling the world many, many times during my career. And over the years, India was very well respected for its IT industry. So even though we were respected worldwide for our IT skills, I was asked this question many times, why we have not created a Google or a Twitter or an Amazon? This question has hounded us throughout the years. Actually, as a leader in the IT industry, this is something which I was asked many, many, many times. And nowadays, I have a very clear answer. Why we did not create a Microsoft or a Google, and why we decided to create technology for 1 billion people. Before I start giving you examples of what we have done, the oldest technology which is meant for 1 billion people, can anybody tell me which is the oldest technology which was built for 1 billion people, or more than 1 billion people? This is something which got built in the last maybe 30, 40 years. All of you use it every single day. No. I am after the wheel era, so wheel will not come in my list. GPS. There is no one in this room whose life has not been affected due to GPS. The Global Positioning System, it's a navigation system built by the US government. It of course uses an array of satellites and a receiver and a set of algorithms. It's a very, very simple technology. And it was built to answer only one question and one question only. Where am I? That's the only question GPS answers. Nothing else. Today, it is a technology which is used by 5 billion people. It's completely free. It's owned by the US government, but completely free. It was not made for commercial reasons. Of course, it was made for defense reasons, but it was not made for commercial reasons. It has led to so many innovations. Google Maps, which we use, Uber, location-based services. Numerous innovations happened because of one single technology which was built, which is extremely simple, very easy to use, and does only one single thing. Every smartphone today comes with built-in GPS. And I said, 5 billion plus people use this technology across the globe. So today, it has become a public utility. In the last 15 years, we have developed, as a country, a number of technologies for public good. So in fact, actually after GPS, in my mind, the first public good technology which was developed was in India. And each one of those technologies are not only relevant for India, it is relevant for the entire world. And again, the first one which comes to my mind, can anybody tell me? Which is the public good technology which we built in the last 15 years? Again, all of you use it almost, not every day, but at least a few times a year. Aadhaar, right. Aadhaar was something which we created. It's a biometric ID. It is unique. It is issued to any individual based on their residency in India. That's how it is defined. Today we have 129 crore UIDs already generated by March 2021. 129 crore UIDs have been generated by March 2021. It has been used to link identities across bank accounts, mobile phones. It has allowed us to disseminate funds directly to bank accounts. It is actually a very simple technology. It also answers a very, very simple question, just like GPS. And the question is, whom I am? Whom I am I? That is a simple question which Aadhaar answers. The big achievement of Aadhaar is that it removed the cost of creating trust. In any transaction, one of the largest expense or one of the most expensive part is to create trust. I'm doing a transaction with you. To create that trust, we need to be sure that you know who I am and who you are. And that's what Aadhaar does. It has allowed us to open bank accounts on a single day. It has allowed us to get cell phones in an hour. It has allowed us to acquire passports. And it has touched 1 billion people. So next to GPS, I would think the technology which has touched 1 billion plus people is something which we built. And that is Aadhaar. Today, it is going international. In fact, IIT Bangalore has created an open source version of Aadhaar. Open source version of Aadhaar, which is actually going to be used by other developing countries. So there is a list of technologies which we have created in the last 15 years. The next one which I have on my list is UPI, another fabulous innovation. It's UPI is a payment system launched by National Payments Corporation of India, NPCI. Again, UPI is unique, is that the cost to the users is zero. This game changer has enabled the person at the lowest end of the pyramid to do real-time digital transactions by converting their mobile phone into a virtual debit card that works across the globe. Now again, financial inclusion has been a major challenge in our country. Banking was an area which was not accessible to most of the people at the bottom of the pyramid. And UPI has single-handedly changed this paradigm. Whenever you use the apps like Beam, Google Pay, Paytm to make payments to people or merchants, we are using UPI. Today, cashless transactions have become the default mode, and ATMs are becoming redundant. Again, as of July 2022, 338 banks are part of UPI. I looked at the value of transactions which happened in July of 2022, 10 lakh crores. 10 lakh crores we have transacted using UPI in July alone. In fact, there is a 90% growth over the number last year, July. Year on year, the amount which has been transacted through UPI has gone up by 90%. So I can continue on this track. There is Aadhaar, there is UPI. Of course, all of you know about COVID. So during the pandemic, of course, I was homebound. I did not travel anywhere. I was staying at home. And starting October, I started traveling outside India. And the moment I traveled, I realized that rest of the world, I was actually in one of the most developed countries, Germany, and again in US. In both these places, they are still giving vaccine certificates on paper. In both of these countries. And as a country, we have done 2 billion vaccinations on a digital platform and provided digital certificates. So CoWIN is another example which I have. Diksha, I don't know how many of you heard of Diksha, National Digital Infrastructure for Teachers. Diksha has been built by public-private partnership. The foundation software for Diksha was built by Xtep, and the government then, they open sourced it, and it was taken over by government over the years. Today, it is an app which is used by millions and millions of people across the country. There are 10 million teachers who are using Diksha today, and 4 lakh leaders in the school system. It is extremely unique, it is completely free, and the content is very rich. It allows the teachers to create in-class resources, teachers training content, assessment aids, create teacher profiling, and various other things. So let me conclude this part. I believe India has a seminal part to play in the world by contributing technology to enrich human life. Aadhaar, UPI, Diksha, CoWIN, all of these have created access and affordability to millions and millions of people at the bottom of the pyramid. It has democratized the use of technology. These are simple, scalable, and built for public good and open sourced. We clearly have a role to play in technology in the new world order. Now, I have one more area which I will touch on before I close, and that is healthcare. Now, the Indian healthcare scenario presents a spectrum of contrasting landscapes. For example, 70% of our doctors are in urban areas and 70% of our population is in rural areas. At the same time, we supply 50% of global demand for vaccines. We are the largest supplier of generic drugs across the world. We have been able to do 2 billion vaccinations. Over the years, we have increased the hospital beds considerably. Ayushman Bharat health insurance has allowed access to health care at an affordable way for the bottom of the pyramid. We have rapidly digitized the healthcare system, and COVID has accelerated this digitization. In the last couple of years, we have seen 500% increase in the teleconsultations. 80% of these are first-time users. So unbundling traditional healthcare delivery has obvious advantages, and it is accelerating at a rapid pace. Now, my interaction with healthcare happens through Axelor, which is one of the startup incubators which myself and Chris run. And I'll give you 2 examples of startups which we work with. Number 1 is Niramai. They are a novel software-based medical device manufacturer for detecting breast cancer. They do thermal imaging to detect breast cancer, which is a much safer, less intrusive, and cheaper methodology compared with what is already out there. It is radiation-free, it is non-touch, non-painful, and works with women of all ages. Now, the point I'm trying to make here is that these kinds of technologies are today being created in our country, which will not only benefit us, it will benefit the world. One more example which I have, which came through the COVID times, that is Tapestry. They are a diagnostic platform which will cut down the number of diagnostics by a factor of 10. So for example, if you are today doing COVID tests, every individual is being tested separately, whereas they have a technology based on machine learning and artificial intelligence, which will cut down the number of tests by a factor of 10. That means if you want to test 1,000 people, they will only sample test 100 samples. And they are able to predict at 98% accuracy who has COVID and who does not have. These are two examples I just wanted to talk about. And these startups have the potential to solve healthcare problems, not only in India, but globally. So let me conclude. When we think of what India can do in the new world order, there are many things which we can do. Being from technology, technology comes first. Technology not for the few, but for the masses. Technology for public good. Technology which is affordable, scalable, and transformative. Technology which will bridge the gap in education, health, and financial inclusion. Another area which I mentioned is about health, affordable health, generic drugs, affordable vaccines, and health innovation in areas like breast cancer screening or diagnostic systems. So as I started out, we have come a long way in the last 75 years. We have done a lot. We have a lot more to do to help India and the humanity. And I clearly believe we can. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We started with yesterday with the inaugural speech by U.S. Ambassador, India's ambassador to U.S. And now we are concluding with a positive note where we got highlights of what India has achieved. The highlight of the valedictory function is, along with the presence of chief guest, the award ceremony. So now may I request the following recipients of the most prestigious awards of Calicut Management Association kindly to be onto the dais. May I request Gokulam Gopalan, the chairman of Lifetime Achievement Award, instituted for the first time, the Silver Jubilee year special recognition, kindly to be on the desk. Now may I request Paul Thomas, MD and CEO of ISAF Group of Companies, who is the recipient of the Management Leadership Award. May I request P.S. Pradeep, founder of Farmers Fresh Zone, who is the recipient of the Young Entrepreneur Award. Let us encourage them with a big round of applause, because these are the most prestigious awards instituted by Calicut Management Association. Now may I request Sangeeta Abhay, CEO of EU Woman, who is the recipient of the Woman Entrepreneur Award. May I request Edwin Joseph, MD, KTJ Hospitality Group, recipient of the Young Manager Award. May I request Naushad, recipient of the most prestigious Institutional Excellence Award. The others were all individual awards, and the most famous pride of Kerala, the Vakaro brand, V. Naushad of our own Calicut Management Association. Before we move on, it will be the privilege of all the recipients to receive the award from our chief guest itself. We will be reading over the citation and listening to their reply later on. So may I request the chief guest, Sir Shibu Lal sir, to do the honors of handing over the presentations one by one. I am told that he is in a hurry to leave after the presentation. So now may I request the chief guest, escorted by the president and chairman, kindly hand over the memento and the prestigious award of Lifetime Achievement Award, constituted for the first time, being the Silver Jubilee year. And the recipient is none other than chairman of Gokulam Group of Companies, having a turnover of more than 10,000 crore and employing 12,000 employees, a real identity for the Malabar region. Now may I request the chief guest to kindly hand over the most prestigious Institutional Excellence Award constituted by Calicut Management Association, and the recipient of C.K. Prahalad Institutional Excellence Award is Vakaro. Now may I request Sri V. Naushad to kindly receive the award for the most prominent brand of global brand now, I would say. Now we have the next most prominent individual award is the Management Leadership Award, and the recipient is Paul Thomas, MD and CEO of ISAF Group of Companies. I'll be reading over the citation and profile later on. Now may I request the chief guest to kindly hand over the Young Entrepreneur Award, and the recipient is P.S. Pradeep, founder, Farmers Fresh Zone. We are privileged to have Ms. Sangeeta Abhay, who is the CEO of Eve Enterprises, who is the recipient of the prestigious Woman Entrepreneur Award of Calicut Management Association. Now may I request the chief guest to do the last of the honors. Now we have the Young Manager Award instituted by Calicut Management Association. May I request Edwin Joseph, MD, KTJ Hospitality, to kindly receive the award from our chief guest. Thank you, sir. So recipients, kindly be seated on the stage. We will be listening to you and we will be reading over the citation later on. Before we move on, may I request the President-elect of TIE, who is the special addressee for the day, Damodar Avanur, to address the gathering.
Good evening. Thank you, Andamani and CMA, for having invited me out here. It's not very nice to be the last speaker of the evening and keep your attention riveted. So I'll try to be as brief as possible. I have taken a cue from Captain Dua. I have thrown out all my slides. He gave me an idea. And I'll just tell you two incidences connected with Keltron and what Mr. Koshi would have spoke to you earlier. While traveling by train around 3-4 years before the pandemic, 3-4 years back, from Trivandrum to Cochin, I met a group of people who had retired from Keltron. Simple guys, ladies and gentlemen, and one of them happened to be my relative. Just got curious and asked them what they were up to. They said, after retiring from Keltron, they all joined together and started developing products for the defense industry, for the Indian Army and the rest. And I asked them what are the products that they developed. One said they were going to Cochin to make a presentation to DRDO. And they had two products with them. And one of them was a device which placed on the Indian border or in the Indian side of the border, and suppose there's a shot fired from a gun from Pakistan, this device can pinpoint the location of that gun and knock it off. The second device that they developed was sonars to detect submarines. Usually sonars, what I was told was you have a few of them located in different places. There's a new device which, if dropped from an aircraft, multiple sonars dropped, and you can cover a huge area and detect any submarines out there. And these retired people could not supply to DRDO because their turnover was not enough to qualify to be a vendor of DRDO. And they tied up with Keltron, and that's how they were going about doing their business. The second incident I remember was what happened to a student in UK recently. She had shifted her residence, and while shifting, there was a gap to get to the new place. And what happened was she had to place all her belongings in a warehouse. She had to use the services of a mover of cargo, a logistics person. And then I was speaking to her, and she said, wait a minute, I have to rush. What for? I have to pay this mover. Where are you rushing? I have to go to an ATM to collect money to pay this mover. I said, don't they accept cards, or don't you have any other means of payment? I said, nothing of that sort. These people only accept cash. So let me add to what Shibu Lal and Koshi would have said earlier. We are far, far advanced in digital payment system compared to the rest of the world. Now, Mr. Mani had asked me to dwell on what is the future for entrepreneurs and managements. I'll talk a little bit from the MSME point of view. I'm quite certain that I do not know what the future holds. It's absolutely certain what's going to happen down the line. Disruption is the name of the game. All of you would have heard it. None of us would have imagined that we are going to be hit by a pandemic, sit at home for a year or two without knowing what to do. And a whole lot of businesses, some of them went under, some of them just struggled to survive. And that was a real nasty shock for all of us. And none of us are sure whether we are not going to be hit by another pandemic or not. We had a scare of monkeypox. Fortunately, that disappeared. And something else may crop up any time, and let's all be prepared for such similar pandemics. I belong to the pharmaceutical industry, as well as I make machines for rubber estates. You won't believe it, during COVID, the pharmaceutical industry too took a very big hit. Most of you will wonder, COVID is something people were falling sick, and the pharmaceutical industry would be doing pretty well. Let me tell you, those segments which are catering to just COVID treatment survived and did well, the rest did not. People who are making PPE kits, paracetamol, and other first-line treatments did well. I cater to the pediatric segment, one of my segments. Believe it or not, children were not going to school, they were not playing, and none of them were falling sick. Cruel thought. Our industry took a real beating. We had to lay off our factory staff. Our marketing team sat home, cooling their heels. Somehow managed to pay them whatever we could. We could not pay them the entire salary. And that's how we got out of this pandemic. I'll tell you of a case of another interesting, another friend of mine who's making veterinary products. He thought he'll take advantage of this pandemic. You know, most of the medical reps, doctors were refusing to meet patients also. Hospitals were empty. That was the scenario during the pandemic. It was only the COVID patients who were being admitted to hospitals. None of those who would have gone to a hospital on a normal case went anywhere near a hospital. So this friend of mine, what he did was he took advantage of the situation. He got his medical reps to go and visit doctors. They would not entertain him. They would not entertain these medical reps, and none of the doctors wanted to meet people. So what they did was left masks and sanitizers at the doorsteps of these doctors just to keep them in the good books of this company. That's how we pharmaceutical people sell. You know. And he was expecting a good result after the pandemic. Unfortunately, what has happened is the veterinary segment has taken a hit post-pandemic. Their sales have dropped by 20–30%, and he does not know why. What's the reason behind it? And there's another industry which I am in, again, rubber. we are not very sure what's the fate of natural rubber going to be. Before World War II, there was a lot of research, and it has been continuing all along to find a substitute for natural rubber. Fortunately, all the properties of natural rubber have not been developed so far. But right now, most of the natural rubber is used by the tire industry. What we hear is there are new types of tires, prototypes have been developed, which need very little of natural rubber. If these succeed, let me tell you, all the rubber growing countries from Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, Vietnam, Myanmar, Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka, and East Africa, Latin America, all will go under. The government of India is investing a substantial amount of money in planting rubber in the Northeast. More than, I think, a lakh or 2 hectares of rubber is being planted. And suppose some sort of a disruption takes place in the tire industry, all this effort may go waste. And there'll be much more supply of natural rubber than what is in demand. Now, I will not dwell on all the IT disruptions that take place, but then any enterprise or a management have got to be grounded and be aware of what all the developments taking place all around you, and more so in the information technology area. And unless you are aware of all this, earlier we were talking about digital marketing and all that, all of us have to be aware of what all the new trends are taking place. If not, we'll be left behind. So, and a lot of changes are taking place at a very rapid pace. Another challenge that we're going to face is employee retention and hiring. I'm sure I've heard from small software companies that the big companies are on a hiring spree. And these people, the smaller guys, are losing their employees at a very rapid pace to these big companies. What they say is we have become a training ground for the bigger companies. That's, in Kerala, there's a different scenario. Most of the people, I'm not talking about this institute, most of the people who get out of college, they would have studied a subject and they insist either on getting a government job or working in that field that they have chosen. Recently, one lady recommended me to get her a job. And what she studied was MBA in HR and operations. She lives around 15 kilometers from Angamali. She said, I want a job only in HR and operations. I said, it's not possible. And she wants to get back home by 6. These were the conditions of a Malayali living in Kerala. But suppose you go outside Kerala, you find most of the students are ready to switch jobs. I recently met a girl from Tirunelveli who did her diploma in civil engineering, and I found her working as a supervisor in one of the big hotel chains in Coimbatore. I asked her, why are you doing this job? She said, I want a job and I'm ready to switch. And she said, I'm going to learn this job, probably throw civil engineering out of the window and develop myself in hotel management. There are a few more disruptions down the line. I won't take up too much of your time. Taxation laws are changing rapidly. There have been umpteen changes in income tax rules and acts from 2019-20 onwards. GST rules have been amended. There are so many amendments that even the GST officers do not know what's the latest. There was a test conducted by the government of Kerala a few months back on how well versed these GST officers were. Believe it or not, only 14% of them passed. Rest all failed. So that's the kind of change that is taking place in tax laws. And managements have got to be futuristic and not look at the rear view mirror while driving and say, I've been doing well in the past, and I'm sure I'll be doing well in the future. That's not going to be the case anymore. And yes, sir. And political disruptions are the next thing, which we can all not predict at all. You have this Ukraine war, you have China breathing down Taiwan, and you don't know what's going to happen. And recently I read that this war in Ukraine is leading to UK, the people in UK are having to pay 80% more for their energy just because gas is not available. And while driving down, I heard that this so-called developed nations are going to throw climate change out of the window. The last meeting on climate change, where 120 countries assembled, the developed nations had assured that they will not use coal anymore. Right now, all the coal plants are being reactivated in UK and most of the European countries because they are running out of energy. Gas is not coming from Russia. So a lot of disruptions are going to take place. In conclusion, to survive as an entrepreneur or a management expert, you have to be grounded, keep your eyes and ears open, change as fast as possible. You may take a decision today for your organization, which you think is wise at the moment, but later on you may find that it could have been done in a different way, but that's part of the game. With these words, thank you for hearing me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for that wonderful remarks on the valedictory session. Now we are moving on to handing over the citation of the awards and also listening in reply from the recipients. The Lifetime Achievement Award for exemplary leadership and contribution in the field of business and for path-breaking initiatives got instituted for this as a special mention this year being the Silver Jubilee year. Now may I read out the citation which is being handed over to the recipient, Sri Gokulam Gopalan, by the President of Calicut Management Association. Calicut Management Association deems it a great honor to confer the unique and prestigious Lifetime Achievement Award in the Silver Jubilee year to Sri Gokulam Gopalan for his exemplary leadership and contributions in the field of business, education, healthcare, hospitality, logistics, film industry, food industry, and the path-breaking initiatives of launching various socially committed projects worldwide. 5 decades old business launched in a humble beginning with a small finance company with 10 members, expanded to 470 branches across the country with not less than 12,000 people and a turnover of more than 10,000 crores through the dedication and management leadership excellence. By selecting Sri Gokulam Gopalan for the Lifetime Achievement Award in our glorious Silver Jubilee year of the Managing Committee of Calicut Management Association, lauds his exemplary leadership, vision and extraordinary contributions to society as a social worker par excellence. The Management Committee also places on record its wishes to expand his horizon as an inspiration to entrepreneurs and industrialists in the coming years. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause to the recipient of Silver Jubilee Annual Management Lifetime Achievement Award. May I request the President to kindly hand over the citation to Gokulam Gopalan. I request Gokulam Gopalan to address the audience.
വേദിയിലിരിക്കുന്ന ഇതിൻ്റെ എനിമയുടെ പ്രസിഡന്റ്, സെക്രട്ടറി, ഇതിൻ്റെ ഭാരവാഹികൾ, പിന്നെ എനിക്ക് ഏറ്റവും പ്രിയങ്കരനായ ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട ഷിബു ലാൽ, ഇവിടെ ഈ അവാർഡിനെ ബ്ലെസ് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി വന്നിരിക്കുന്ന എല്ലാ സുഹൃത്തുക്കൾക്കും സഹോദരി സഹോദരന്മാർക്കും എൻ്റെ വിനീതമായ നമസ്കാരം. ഇത് എന്നെ സംബന്ധിച്ചിടത്തോളം ഞാനൊന്ന് പ്രതീക്ഷിച്ചിട്ടൊന്നുമല്ല ഈ കമ്പനികളൊക്കെ ആയത്. ഒരു സാധാരണ മാനേജ്മെൻറ്റ്, ഞാൻ BSc ഗ്രാജുവേറ്റാണ്. പക്ഷെ അത് വെച്ചിട്ട് അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ ആ BSc ഗ്രാജുവേറ്റ് വെച്ച് ഒരു കോമൺ സെൻസ്, എൻ്റെ അഭിപ്രായത്തിൽ ഏത് ബിസിനസ് ആണെങ്കിലും ഒരു കോമൺ സെൻസ് വിത്ത് ഇൻ്റലിജൻസ്, അതാണ് എൻ്റെ അഭിപ്രായം. ഏതൊരു കോമൺ സെൻസ്, അതാണ് ബിസിനസ്സിൻ്റെ രഹസ്യം. ഇത് നമ്മൾ എഴുതിക്കൂട്ടി ആദ്യം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാലെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ എത്രയോ അങ്ങനെയുള്ള പരിപാടികൾ പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങൾ ചെയ്തിട്ട് പരാജയപ്പെട്ട എത്രയോ കമ്പനികളുണ്ട്. പക്ഷേ ഓരോ പ്രാവശ്യവും അതിൻ്റെ സമയത്ത്, അതായത് ഇതിൻ്റെ മുഖവില ഞാൻ വളരെ ശ്രദ്ധിച്ചു. കാലഘട്ടത്തിനനുസരിച്ച് എങ്ങനെ ബിസിനസ് മാറ്റും എന്നാണ് ഇവിടുത്തെ ചർച്ച തന്നെ. ഇപ്പം കഴിഞ്ഞ കൊറോണ പീരീഡിൽ എനിക്ക് 2 പീരീഡും എനിക്ക് എല്ലാ സ്റ്റാഫിനും സാലറി കൊടുക്കാൻ പറ്റി. അതാണ് എൻ്റെ ഏറ്റവും വലിയ വിജയം. കാരണം എനിക്കത് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ലായിരുന്നു. എങ്ങനെയാണെങ്കിൽ ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ റിസർവേഷൻ ഞാൻ ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ലെങ്കിൽ, എൻ്റെ ഫണ്ട് വരുന്ന സമയത്ത് ഞാൻ റിസർവേഷൻ ചെയ്തു. കാരണം ഇതിൻ്റെ ബേസൊക്കെ ഇതിൻ്റെ ജോലിക്കാരാണ്. ജോലിക്കാരുടെ മനസ്സ് തുറന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഒരു ബിസിനസ്സും നമുക്ക് മുന്നോട്ട് കൊണ്ടുപോകാൻ പറ്റില്ല. അപ്പോൾ അവരുടെ മനസ്സ് തളരാതെ അവരെ പ്രോത്സാഹിപ്പിക്കുക എന്നാണ്. നമുക്ക് എന്ത് പ്രശ്നമുണ്ടെങ്കിലും അവരെ പ്രോത്സാഹിപ്പിക്കുക എന്നാണ്. ഏത് രീതിയിലാണ് പരാജയം ഉണ്ടാകുക, അതിൻ്റെ മൈനസ് പോയിൻ്റ് എന്നായിരുന്നു മനസ്സിലാക്കി അതിനെ നികത്തിക്കൊണ്ട് മുന്നോട്ട് പോവുക എന്ന ഒരു പോളിസിയാണ് എടുത്തത്. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഇപ്പം നമുക്ക് എല്ലാ തുറകളിലുള്ള ബിസിനസ്സും ഉണ്ട്. ഇപ്പം സിനിമയിൽ ഞാൻ വലിയ ഇതൊന്നും എടുത്തില്ലായിരുന്നു. 1976 ഞാൻ ആദ്യം സിനിമ എടുത്തത്. അല്ലരി വയസ്സ് ഒരു തെലുങ്ക് സിനിമയാണ് എടുത്തത്. അപ്പോൾ എന്നോട് പറഞ്ഞു, സിനിമ എടുത്ത പ്രൈം മിനിസ്റ്റർ സാറ് പറഞ്ഞു, സാർ എൻ്റെ സിനിമ എടുക്കരുത് ഗോപാല, അപകടമാണെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. ഞാൻ എടുത്തില്ല കുറേ കാലം. പിന്നെ ഈ ആവേശം, അതായത് സിനിമ എടുക്കാനാണ്, സിനിമയിൽ അഭിനയിക്കാനാണ് ഞാൻ മദ്രാസിൽ പോയത്. അതിൻ്റെ ആ ഫാഷൻ എൻ്റെ മനസ്സിൽ നിന്ന് പോയില്ല. അങ്ങനെയാണ് പിന്നെയും അതിശയം എന്നൊരു പടം പിന്നെ ഇവരെ വിനയനെ വെച്ച് ചെയ്തത്. പിന്നെ ഇങ്ങോട്ടും എല്ലാ പടങ്ങളും നല്ല രീതിയിലായിരുന്നു ചെയ്തത്. എല്ലാ പടങ്ങളും ഒരു വിധത്തിൽ വലിയ നഷ്ടമില്ലാതെ കൊണ്ടുപോയി. സിനിമയിൽ അതാണ്. സിനിമയിലെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഞാനത് സിനിമ എന്നൊരു കഥ കെട്ടി ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്നതല്ല, ചരിത്ര കഥകളാണ് ഞാൻ മുഖാവശ്യം ഉണ്ടാക്കിയത്. പഴശ്ശിരാജങ്ങൾക്ക് അറിയാം, ഇന്ത്യയിൽ 1895 മുതൽ 1895 വരെ ഇന്ത്യൻ സ്വാതന്ത്ര്യ സമരത്തിന് പോരാടിയ ഒരു വ്യക്തിത്വൻ്റെ ഉടമയായിരുന്നു പഴശ്ശിരാജ. പക്ഷേ എത്ര പേർക്ക് പഴശ്ശിരാജ ഇവിടുത്തെ സ്വാതന്ത്ര്യ സമര സേനയാണെന്നറിയും? എല്ലാം നോർത്ത് ഇന്ത്യയിലെ ആളുകളെ ബോധിപ്പിച്ചിട്ടാണ് എല്ലാ കാര്യങ്ങളും ഇവിടെ സമരസേനാനി ഉണ്ടാകുക. എത്ര പേർക്കറിയാം ഇവിടുത്തെ ഒരു വലിയ ഊർജ്ജസ്വലനായ ഒരു സമരസേനാനിയായിരുന്നു പഴശ്ശിരാജ? ഇന്ന് എത്ര പേർക്കറിയാം? അറിയില്ല. അതാണ് കാര്യം. പഴശ്ശിരാജ സിനിമ എടുത്ത ശേഷമാണ് എല്ലാവർക്കും അത് മനസ്സിൽ എത്രയോ അപ്രിസിയേഷൻ എനിക്ക് പറഞ്ഞു. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ അടുത്ത് ഈ കായംകുളം കൊച്ചുണ്ണി, അത് ഒരു കള്ളനാണെങ്കിലും സമൂഹത്തിന് വേണ്ടി അദ്ദേഹം ചെയ്ത ഉപകാരങ്ങൾ, അതായത് പാവപ്പെട്ടവന് സഹായിക്കുന്ന ഒരു പ്രക്രിയ അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് അദ്ദേഹം വിജയിച്ചത്. അദ്ദേഹത്തെ വിജയിച്ച അത് സിനിമാറ്റിക് ചിലയാൾക്ക് മാറ്റിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. രണ്ടാമത് ഇവിടെ നമ്മുടെ എന്താ എന്താ ഏത് പേര് മറന്നു പോകുന്നത്? 19-ാം നൂറ്റാണ്ട് എന്ന സിനിമയിലെ കഥാനായകൻ്റെ പേര് അവിടുത്തെ ഏറ്റവും പിന്നെ അവിടുത്തെ സമൂഹത്തിലെ നടന്നിരുന്ന അനീതി അധർമ്മത്തിനെയും എതിർത്ത ഒരാളായിരുന്നു വേലായുധ പണിക്കർ. ആ ശ്രീനാരായണ ഗുരുദേവ് വരുന്നതിൻ്റെ മുമ്പേ തന്നെ അദ്ദേഹം ഒരു അമ്പലം ഉണ്ടാക്കിയ ഒരാളായിരുന്നു. എത്രയോ എതിർപ്പുകൾ ഒരു പ്രാവശ്യം അദ്ദേഹത്തെ അങ്ങനെ ആ അമ്പലം ഉണ്ടാക്കിയതിൻ്റെ പേരിലും അദ്ദേഹത്തെ സമൂഹത്തിലെ കിങ്കരന്മാർ അദ്ദേഹത്തെ കൊന്നു. അപ്പോൾ ഇങ്ങനെയുള്ള ആളുകളെ എന്തിനാണ് അദ്ദേഹം കൊല്ലപ്പെട്ടു എന്നതിന് വേറെ ഒന്നുമില്ല. അവർ സമൂഹത്തിന് വേണ്ടി സമൂഹത്തിലെ അനീതി അധർമ്മങ്ങൾ ഇല്ലാതാക്കാൻ പ്രവർത്തിച്ചാണ്. നങ്ങിയേലി എന്ന സ്ത്രീ സ്വന്തം മാറ് വെട്ടി അത് അങ്ങനെയുള്ള മലക്കരം ഇല്ലാതാക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി ശ്രമിച്ച ഒരു കഥയായിരുന്നത്. അതൊക്കെ നമ്മൾ ഇന്നത്തെ സമൂഹം കാണുമ്പം വലിയ അതൃപ്തി ഉണ്ടാകും. പക്ഷേ എന്താണ് സംഭവിച്ചതെന്നൊന്നും മനസ്സിലായി. ഇങ്ങനെയാണല്ലോ ലോകമെന്ന് 150 കൊല്ലങ്ങൾക്ക് മുമ്പ് ഇങ്ങനെയായിരുന്നു ലോകമെന്ന് ആലോചിക്കുന്ന ഒരു ഘട്ടമായിരുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ ഇതൊക്കെ പുതുതലമുറക്ക് എത്തിച്ച് ഈ സ്വാതന്ത്ര്യ സമരത്തിൻ്റെ പിന്നാലെ എത്ര പേര് ഇതിന് കഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടിട്ടുണ്ട് എന്നതാണ് നമ്മൾ പുതിയ തലമുറക്ക് അറിയേണ്ടത്. അതാണ് സിനിമയിൽ കൂടി ഞാൻ ആവർത്തിക്കുന്നത്. പിന്നെ ചിറ്റ് ഫണ്ട് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. ചിറ്റ് ഫണ്ട് വളരെ ചെറിയ രീതിയിൽ ആരംഭിച്ചാണ്. ഞാനത് ചിറ്റ് ഫണ്ട് കമ്പനി ആരംഭിക്കണമെന്ന് ചോദിച്ചില്ല. എൻ്റെ സ്വന്തം കാര്യത്തിന് വേണ്ടി ചിറ്റ് ഫണ്ട് ആരംഭിച്ചാണ്. ഒരു 600 സീറ്റ്. അത് വളർന്ന് അതാൻ പറഞ്ഞു, പ്രോജക്റ്റിന് ഉണ്ടാക്കിയിട്ടൊന്നുമല്ല. നമ്മൾ അന്നത്തെ ആ സമയത്ത് നമ്മൾ ആ കോമൺ സെൻസ് ഉപയോഗിച്ച് ഇൻ്റലിജൻ്റ് ഉപയോഗിച്ച് നമ്മളതിനെ വളർത്തിക്കൊണ്ടുവന്നതാണ്. ഇന്നത്തെ 10,000 കോടി ടേൺ ഓവറുള്ള ഒരു കമ്പനിയായി, 500 ബ്രാഞ്ചുള്ള ഒരു കമ്പനിയായി മാറിക്കഴിഞ്ഞു. എത്ര എനിക്ക് സന്തോഷമുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. കാരണം 10,000 പേരോളം അതിൽ മാത്രം ജോലി ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. പിന്നെ ഹോസ്പിറ്റലിൽ എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ എന്നെ സംബന്ധിച്ച് എൻ്റെ ഹോസ്പിറ്റലിൽ രണ്ട് മൂന്നാല് ഹോസ്പിറ്റലുണ്ട്. ആ ഹോസ്പിറ്റൽ മെഡിക്കൽ കോളേജാണ് ഏറ്റവും പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട കാര്യം. വളരെ വലിയൊരു എമൗണ്ട് ചിലവഴിച്ചിട്ടാണ് ഞാൻ കോളേജ് ആരംഭിച്ചത്. അത് മാനേജ്മെൻറ്റ് 50% തരുമെന്ന് ആലോചിച്ചത്. പക്ഷേ 50% ഇല്ല, നിങ്ങൾ കാശും വായി നോക്കാം എന്നുള്ള രീതിയിൽ എത്തിച്ചേർന്നു. കാരണം ഇന്നത് ഒന്നുമില്ല. ഇന്ന് എൻ്റെ മകനെ ഒരു സീറ്റ് ചേർക്കാൻ എനിക്ക് സാധിക്കാത്ത അവസ്ഥയായിരിക്കുന്നു. ഒരു മാർക്കിന് വേണ്ടി എൻ്റെ മകനും അതിന് വ്യത്യാസം ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഒരു മാർക്ക് അധികമാണ് എൻ്റെ സുഹൃത്തിൻ്റെ മകനാണെങ്കിൽ അതിനെ കൊടുക്കണം ഞാൻ. അതാണ് ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ കാര്യം. അപ്പോൾ ഇങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ നമ്മൾ ചെയ്തിട്ടും നമ്മൾ അതിനെ നല്ല രീതിയിൽ നടത്തിക്കൊണ്ടുവരാണ് ഇന്നലെ നാളെ. കാരണം എനിക്ക് അതിന് കിട്ടുന്ന ഒരു സന്തോഷം സംതൃപ്തി വേറെ ഒന്നുമില്ല. അതാണ് കാര്യം. എത്രയോ കുട്ടികളെ നമ്മൾ പഠിപ്പിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. 13 കാരണം ഇപ്പം പാവപ്പെട്ട ആൾക്കാരാണ് അവരെ വെള്ളം അതിൽ ക്ലാസ്സുണ്ട്. എനിക്ക് സുഖമില്ല, ഞാൻ ഇന്ന് വരാൻ മടിച്ചതാണ്. എന്നാലും ഷിബുല സാറും ഇന്നത്തെ ഈ എയിമ എന്ന സംഘടന എനിക്കൊരു അവാർഡ് തരുന്ന സമയത്ത് ഞാൻ മിസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പാടില്ല. ഇത് ജീവിതത്തിലെ ഏറ്റവും ഒരു അവാർഡാണെന്ന് ഞാൻ കണക്കാക്കിയിട്ടാണ് ഞാൻ വന്നത്. കാരണം എയിമ എന്നത് പ്രത്യേക എനിക്കൊരു സുഖമുണ്ട്. എയിമ ഓൾ ഇന്ത്യ മലയാളി അസോസിയേഷനും ഉണ്ട്, അതിൻ്റെ പ്രസിഡന്റ് കൂടിയാണ് ഞാൻ. ഇവിടെ എയിമ അസോസിയേഷൻ ഓൾ ഇന്ത്യ മെഡിക്കൽ അസോസിയേഷൻ മാനേജ്മെൻറ്റ് അസോസിയേഷൻ. അപ്പോൾ ഒരു ഒന്ന് തന്നെയാണ് എന്ന് എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നത്. കാരണം അത്രയും രണ്ടിനും പ്രാധാന്യമുള്ളതാണെന്ന് എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നത്. അതേതായാലും ഇത് മലയാളികൾ തന്നെയാണ് ഇവിടുത്തെ ഏറ്റവും പ്രാധാന്യം അറിയിക്കുന്ന ഇവിടുത്തെ നോക്കി നടത്തുന്ന ആളുകൾ. അവരൊക്കെ ഞാൻ വളരെ അഭിനന്ദിക്കുകയാണ്. കാരണം എന്നെ അഭിമാനമാണ് ഈ കോളേജിൻ്റെ പറയുന്നത് കേൾക്കുന്നത്. ഇന്നാണ് ഈ അങ്കണത്തിൽ ഞാൻ കരുതുന്നത്. അത്രയും നല്ല ഒരു കോളേജ് അങ്കണത്തിൽ വരാനും ഇവിടുന്ന് ഒരു അവാർഡ് ആദ്യമായി വാങ്ങിക്കാനും ഇതിനെ അനുവദിച്ച എനിക്ക് എൻ്റെ നന്ദി കൂറി എൻ്റെ വാക്ക് നിർത്തട്ടെ. നന്ദി, നമസ്കാരം.
നന്ദി ശ്രീ ഗോപാലൻ സർ. താങ്കളുടെ സാന്നിധ്യവും താങ്കളുടെ അഡ്രസ്സും നമ്മൾക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും വളരെ സന്തോഷവും അറിവും പകർന്നു തന്നു. വി ആർ മൂവിങ് ഓൺ ടു ദ നെക്സ്റ്റ് prestigious individual award, Management Leadership Award. The Management Leadership Award of Calicut Management Association was instituted by Dr. V.K.S. Menon, the founding president of CMA, in the memory of his late parents, whose name he runs the Narleela Trust. The recipient is Sri Paul Thomas. Now may I read out the citation. Calicut Management Association deems it a great honor to confer the Management Leadership Excellence Award 2022 to Sri Paul Thomas, MD and CEO, ISAF Bank, for his visionary leadership and contribution in the fields of microfinance banking, dairy industry, and various socially committed initiatives. ISAF, a small finance bank, is the new age social bank aiming to redefine the banking experience for all stakeholders. Focus on expanding the banking horizon to new unbanked areas, including urban, semi-urban, and rural areas. ISAF is the torchbearer to similar business people. From microfinance to small finance bank, the journey of Sri Paul Thomas is a pathfinder to aspiring leaders and all generation entrepreneurs to incorporate their vision and action to fulfill their dreams. By selecting Sri Paul Thomas for Management Leadership Excellence Award, the Management Committee of Calicut Management Association honors his leadership, vision, and contribution to society as a socially committed businessman. The Managing Committee also wishes to expand his horizon in the coming years for giving strength to take up various projects for the welfare of society. Ladies and gentlemen, may I request the President Anandamani to hand over the citation to Sri Paul Thomas, recipient of Management Leadership Excellence Award for the year 2022.
Respected Chief Guest of the Day, Sri Shibu Lal Sir, President of CMA, Sri Engineer Anand Mani, and all the office bearers, and the award winners, Sri Gopalan Sir, Sri Naushad, Sri Pradeep, Srimati Sangeeta, and Sri Edwin, and all the CMA members, students, good evening. First of all, let me congratulate the Calicut Management Association for completing 25 years of existence. So congratulations, first of all. On behalf of my personal behalf of, and also on Thrissur Management Association, I'm congratulating and conveying you. I'm also the president of Thrissur Management Association now. So receiving this prestigious award from Calicut Management Association at this IIM campus from Sri Shibu Lal sir is a great honor for me. I consider this as a great honor. And especially I have a personal connect. I started my management career from Calicut. Way back in 1984, when I started my work with IFCO, so 4 years I was here in the handling North Kerala region. So Calicut is personally and emotionally connected to my heart. So thank you very much for that. And I dedicate this award to my colleagues, around 12,000 ISAFians and more than 5 million micro entrepreneurs who are part of ISAF Bank. Because of their hard work, I got this recognition. I'm receiving this award and recognitions on behalf of them for their hard work, actually. So as I described here, I'm a social entrepreneur. I used to define myself as an accidental entrepreneur. I started as a social worker only. I started a non-profit society 30 years before, 1992. The idea was to create a job. At that time, late 80s and early 90s, Kerala was facing severe unemployment problem among educated youths and all. So we wanted to support. So then that led me to promoting of self-employment and replicating the Bangladesh Grameen Bank model in India and starting financial inclusion programs. So that has grown to a small finance bank today, which is having presence in 23 states, having around 1,200 touch points, and we are serving the bottom of the pyramid. So we are ISAF is a overall, including ISAF Bank and all other institutions, is a impact-focused social business. So we specifically address the issue of inequality. See, we have celebrated 75 years of independence. But still, the inequality, social and economic inequality in our country exists. The recent World Inequality Study reveals that the rich 10% of our people holds 57% of the wealth of this country, and the bottom 50% holds only 13%. So you can, and if this situation continues, people who have money, who are rich people, cannot live peacefully in this country. So it is for their interest we have to take care of the bottom of the people. So that is what we are trying to do, and we could achieve to a certain extent, but a long way to go. And I request a lot of opportunities for management students, management professionals, entrepreneurs to work in this area, in this space. And I am very happy that this time CMA selected all the award winners are in a way all social entrepreneurs. Babalattan started a cheat company, which is one of the very famous financial inclusion model across the world. So congratulations for that. Naushad is creating jobs in the rural parts of the country. Pradeep is connecting farmers with markets. Sangeeta is supporting women entrepreneurs in a big way, especially in Malabar, in North Malabar. And I'm sure Eric is also, Edwin Jacob is also involved in his hospitality sector, is also will definitely impact the society. So impacting the society, helping the poor, helping the bottom of the pyramid to come up, that is an important area. Management professionals and management students can involve, and we have a slogan, fighting the partiality of prosperity. And we are continuing that fight, and all of you, I am encouraging all of you to join the fight. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your gracious presence over here. We are moving on to the next prestigious Institutional Excellence Award. The Professor C.K. Prahalad Institutional Excellence Award was instituted by the three past presidents of Calicut Management Association, Dr. Saji Gopinath, Professor Philip K. Antony, and Nityanand Kamath. Now, may I read out the citation of the Institutional Excellence Award. Calicut Management Association deems it a great honor to confer the C.K. Prahalad Institutional Excellence Award 2022 to Messrs. Wakaru International Private Limited for their continuous strive for excellence, global outlook, and also the outstanding service to the industry. Wakaru was established in the year 2012 by Mr. V. Naushad, the strong foundation laid down by its extraordinary business acumen, and has focused more on its business objectives, surpassing conventional paradigms and setting new benchmarks. Wakaru has well established itself as one of the leading manufacturers of PU footwear in India. Wakaru group of companies offer footwear products ranging from slippers, sandals, flip-flops, casual shoes, and formal shoes for men and women, and its flagship brand is Wakaru. The group has clocked revenue of US dollars 209 million in the financial year 21 and expects to sustain its revenue growth in the current fiscal and amid a rebound in economic growth, and aims to achieve around 250 USD million dollars in the coming year. By selecting Wakaru, the C.K. Prahalad Institutional Excellence Award, the Managing Committee of Calicut Management Association lauds their exemplary and inspirational institutional leadership that meticulously combines philanthropy, productivity, and profitability. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to Mr. V. Naushad, the recipient of Institutional Excellence Award. I request V. Naushad to say a few words.
Respected Shibu Lal sir, respected Anandamani, respected my colleagues in CMA, awardees, guests. First of all, I would like to thank CMA for selecting Wakaru for this award. So it belongs to the team, and I am proud to represent the team Wakaru. So when we started the first unit, when we planned to start in Andhra Pradesh, so actually we have finalized their land in Coimbatore, and due to some issue, we bought the land from Federal Bank. We couldn't, due to some central excise issue, we haven't got it. So we have to find another land. So we searched the land and found a land in Andhra Pradesh. And by the time the machine was reached in Chennai, and within 18 days, in a new place, new state, without any previous knowledge, we started production within 18 days at the new location in Andhra Pradesh. So that was the start of the first manufacturing unit of Wakaru. And with the teamwork, today Wakaru is the largest footwear brand in South India, and the largest PU footwear brand in India, and the third largest footwear brand in India. So all the credit goes to the team members. 7,000 workers, staff and workers we have in our role, and around 5,000 work with our stitching vendors. And a bigger team with including our dealers and distributors, and we make around 15 crores pairs of footwear per year, and all the credits goes to customers also. This will not happen without the support of our customers. So I would thank everyone, and thank you once again. Jai Hind.
Thank you, V. Naushad. കോഴിക്കോടിൻ്റെ സന്തോഷം കാലിക്കറ്റ് മാനേജ്മെൻറ്റ് അസോസിയേഷൻ്റെ എക്കാലത്തെയും കോൺട്രിബ്യൂട്ടറാണ്. So we are moving on to the next prestigious award, Woman Entrepreneur Award for the year 2022. May I read out the citation? Calicut Management Association deems it a privilege to confer the Woman Entrepreneur Award Sri Gokulam sir I think is leaving us. Easily has to reach the next program. അദ്ദേഹത്തിനെ നിറഞ്ഞ സന്തോഷത്തോടെ നിറഞ്ഞ കൈയടിയോടെ വളരെ നന്ദി സർ. കാലിക്കറ്റ് മാനേജ്മെൻറ്റ് അസോസിയേഷൻ്റെ സ്വീകരണം സ്വീകരിച്ച് ഇവിടെ എത്തിയതിനും അവാർഡ് നേരിട്ട് ഏറ്റുവാങ്ങിയതിനും കാലിക്കറ്റ് മാനേജ്മെൻറ്റ് അസോസിയേഷൻ്റെ സന്തോഷം അറിയിക്കുന്നു. So the Women Entrepreneur Award 2022, Calicut Management Association deems it a privilege to confer the Women Entrepreneur Award to Ms. Sangeeta Abhay, CEO of EVE, Empowerment of Weavers and Artisans, a startup in Kerala, a strong believer and aspiring entrepreneur. Her vision is to enable women to earn a stable income by engaging in work related to textile fashion. EVE focus on handlooms, khadi and handicraft items which come under the sustainable product list. The intention of EVE is the upbringing of rural products and taking them to global market. EVE keep their eyes on the latest fashion trends of the present market. By selecting Ms. Sangeeta Abhay for the Women Entrepreneur Award 2022, the Management Committee of CMA lauds her entrepreneurial spirit and managerial excellence. The Managing Committee also places on record its deep sense of appreciation for being the embodiment of women empowerment. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Sangeeta Abhay, the recipient of the Women Entrepreneur Award, I request the President to hand over the citation and request Sangeeta to say a few words.
All the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. As for me, this is a prestigious sharing with the legends of business and management. Thank you, Mr. Ananthamani and entire team of CMA for this award. It's a great honor to receive the award from Sri Shibu Lal. As said, our startup is under Kerala, incubated in Kerala Startup Mission, and it's aggregating, empowering traditional weavers and artisans of India. Actually, എൻ്റെ ഒരു പാഷനെ ഫോളോ ചെയ്ത് വന്നുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഞാനിന്ന് ഇവിടെ നിൽക്കുന്നതെന്ന് പറയാം. ഞാനൊരു പോസ്റ്റ് ഗ്രാജുവേഷൻ ഇൻ ബയോകെമിസ്ട്രി ആയിരുന്നു, കോളേജിൽ ലെക്ചറായിരുന്നു. ബട്ട് എൻ്റെ ഒരു ഇഷ്ടം ലോക്കൽ എക്കണോമി ഡെവലപ്മെൻറ്റ്, വിമൺ എംപവർമെൻറ്റ്, പിന്നെ ഈ ഒരു സസ്റ്റൈനബിൾ പ്രോഡക്റ്റിനോടുള്ള ഇഷ്ടം, ഈ ഒരു പാഷനായിരുന്നു എൻ്റെ മനസ്സിലുണ്ടായിരുന്നത്. അങ്ങനെ ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ ലെക്ചർഷിപ്പ് റിസൈൻ ചെയ്തിട്ടാണ് ഈ ഒരു ഏരിയയിലേക്ക് വന്നത്. അതുകൊണ്ട് മാത്രമാണ് ഇന്ന് ഞാൻ ഇവിടെ നിൽക്കുന്നതെന്ന് ഞാൻ വിശ്വസിക്കുന്നു. ആൻഡ് ഐ ആം സോ പ്രൗഡ് ഓഫ് ഇറ്റ്. ആൻഡ് ഒരു 3.5 വർഷത്തിന് ശേഷം, 3.5 വർഷം ആയി ശരിക്കും ഈ വന്നൊരു സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ് ഞങ്ങൾ സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ട് ഇന്ത്യയിലെ മുഴുവൻ ഹാൻഡ്ലൂം ആർട്ടിസൻസിനെയും ട്രഡീഷണൽ വീവേഴ്സിനെയും കണക്ട് ചെയ്ത് സസ്റ്റൈനബിൾ പ്രോഡക്റ്റിനെ ഗ്ലോബൽ മാർക്കറ്റിലേക്ക് എത്തിക്കുക, ലോക്കൽ ഇക്കണോമിയിൽ ഒരു ഡെവലപ്മെൻറ്റ് ഉണ്ടാക്കുക. ലാക്സോളം വരുന്ന വനിതകൾ, അതായത് പ്രസൻ്റ്ലി നോട്ട് വർക്കിംഗ്, പല കാരണങ്ങൾ കൊണ്ടും ജോലി ചെയ്യാതിരിക്കുന്ന ലക്ഷങ്ങളോളം വരുന്ന വനിതകൾ നമ്മളുടെ കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റിയിലുണ്ട്. അവർക്കൊരു സസ്റ്റൈനബിൾ ഇൻകം ഉണ്ടാക്കാനുള്ളൊരു സപ്പോർട്ട് ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുക. ഇങ്ങനെ കുറേ ഉദ്ദേശ ലക്ഷ്യങ്ങളോട് കൂടിയിട്ടാണ് ഇവ സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്തത്. ആൻഡ് ഇറ്റ്സ് പ്രൗഡ് ദാറ്റ് വി കുഡ് സപ്പോർട്ട് അറൌണ്ട് 300 women to earn a sustainable income still. Now, okay. And sustainability is, I believe that sustainable is the future. And I'm little nervous also. ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു വേദിയിൽ IIM കോഴിക്കോടിൻ്റെ ഒരു വേദിയിൽ ഷിബുലാൽ സാറും അതുപോലെ ഗോകുലം ഗോപാൽ സാറൊക്കെ പോൾ സാറൊക്കെ ഇരിക്കുന്ന ഒരു കൂട്ടത്തിൽ ഞാനിരിക്കാന്നൊക്കെ പറയുന്നത് ഐ എം സോ ഓണേഡ് ആൻഡ് താങ്ക് യു സോ മച്ച്.
Now we will move on to the Young Entrepreneur Award for the year 2022. May I read out the citation? Calicut Management Association deems it a great privilege to confer the Young Entrepreneur Award 2022 on Mr. Pradeep PS, a software engineer turned entrepreneur with an aim to improve the health and wellness standards of the consumers by providing them access to safe-to-eat, pesticide-free fruits and vegetables. The idea was to bridge the gap between the farmers and consumers through unit-level traceability for all products. Pradeep Kumar started his career as an IT professional in Info Park, where he got the idea to contribute something of his own to healthcare and wellness, which turned into a new startup called Farmers Fresh Zone. Today, he could serve more than 1 lakh farmers to meet their needs and in 5 cities to improve their livelihood. By conferring on Mr. Pradeep PS with the Young Entrepreneur Award 2022, the Management Committee of CMA lauds his exemplary entrepreneurship and inspiring leadership skills. Hope this recognition will inspire many young budding entrepreneurs from the Malabar region, particularly farmers and startups who will enhance the productivity and growth of the healthcare and wellness industry in the Malabar region. May I request President Anandamani to hand over the citation to Mr. Pradeep PS. This award is instituted by VKC Trust in honor of upbringing young entrepreneurs. I request Pradeep to say a few words in reply.
Hi all, good evening. Good evening. Yeah, good evening. So myself Pradeep, founder of agri-tech startup called Farmers Fresh Zone, and first I would like to thank CMA for honoring me along with the business legends from Kerala like Paul sir, Gokulam Gopalan sir and Naushad. And just wanted to go through their journey in a few words. Why actually they come into this successful entrepreneur? So while looking that, two things come into my mind. That's one is their vision and second one is their social commitment. Maybe if talking about Paul sir, it's like what he did. His activity is like empowering the rural woman and empowering the society. And similar to that, Naushad sir did, it's like providing quality, affordable footwear to everyone. And Gokulam sir did ethical business. So, and another word also, it's like there's simplicity. So I connected with Paul sir maybe 3 years back. And after that, every special occasion, he used to send us some WhatsApp message. So I wondered how actually he can be able to do that. Okay, so it's like, and similar to Naushad sir, 1.5 years back, actually we connected. Whenever any problems comes, if we call, they respond to us. They never said no. So that's a great lesson to learn for entrepreneurs, that simplicity and focusing on the vision. And coming to our venture Farmers Fresh Zone, so we work towards nurturing good food culture by connecting rural producers with urban consumers. We primarily started with the fresh produce and especially in the fruits and vegetables. And recently we acquired a milk delivery company and entered into the milk delivery space as well. And so our objective is to deliver the fresh produce as fresh with best quality and ensuring that our consumer get the healthy produce. So that's the objective. And right now we are delivering around 1 lakh of orders per month and looking forward 10 lakhs by financial year 24 and 30 lakhs by financial year 26 and 3 crores by financial year 30. Once again, thanking entire CMA team for organizing and honoring us. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Pradeep, for being here and receiving the award in person. Now, moving on to the last award of the day, Young Manager Award 2022. May I read out the citation? Calicut Management Association deems it a privilege to confer the Young Manager Award 2022 on Sri Edwin Joseph, Managing Director, KTG Hospitality, for his contribution and achievements in the hospitality industry. Sri Edwin Joseph is the CEO of KTG Hospitality, a full-service hospitality management company specializing in hotels and resorts. KTG Hospitality has remained true to its objective of redefining the standards of luxury hospitality. By conferring the Young Manager Award 2022 on Sri Edwin Joseph, the Managing Committee of CMA lauds his managerial capabilities, applying his intuitions and creative ideas for introducing innovative technology for a whole new perspective in hospitality and allied services. The Managing Committee wishes him success in his future endeavor. I request President to hand over the citation and also request Edwin Joseph to say a few words in reply.
Good evening. Thank you, CMA, for this. And Shibu Lal sir, you're an inspiration. And thank you to the fellow award winners. You guys have achieved so much in such a short time. And may you continue to so high. And I don't know if I truly deserve this award because I'm still a work in progress. I have a lot to learn. I'm learning every day. And for that, thank you. And one thing I've learned so far is to invest in people, trust people, in not just in infrastructure. Employees, they matter a lot. And therefore, that's something I've learned as a manager. And thank you for this. Thank you.
Thank you, Edwin, for being here and receiving the award in person. Now I call upon Engineer Anandamani sir, the President of Calicut Management Association, who had taken all the pains to host one of the best conventions during the Silver Jubilee year, for his closing remarks.
I'll be fast, but do have a lot to say. Chairman Mr. Ashik, Chief Guest Mr. Shibu Lal, Damodar Avnur, and all other dignitaries here. I'm now standing here with the greatest honor, in fact the honor of a lifetime, and with that comes a great responsibility to thank each one of you by delivering the conclusion remarks today on this unique occasion. CM is truly blessed by the gracious presence of our honorable and admired speaker, Mr. Shibu Lal, and we had an amazing time with a lot of takeaways along with the speech of Mr. Damodar Avnur and also the vibrant galaxy of speakers who had addressed us today and yesterday. So, we at CMA have always looked upon you, your life and journey, and you have always been an inspiration to us. At the forefront of your vision lay your unrelenting quest to ensure that millions of peoples, as you said in your speech, across the country has benefited by the technological inclusions initiated by you. Your unparalleled initiatives have translated the dreams of many. Your foresight, leadership, and determination has propelled Infosys to attain many milestones, but most importantly, we view your philanthropic pursuits continues to comfort the lives of countless people across various sections of the society. This occasion has been something special for CMA, as you are the truly apt speaker we could have had, and we have had, of international repute for this valedictory session, and as well as to give the award to vibrant personalities such as Sri Gokulam Gopalan, Mr. Paul Thomas, Mr. Naushad, Sankita, Pradeep, and Edwin. Much more than a public dignitary, you are the most apt person what we feel today, and they are also much happy to receive it from your hands on the Silver Jubilee AMC. My sincere thanks to you, sir. Mr. Damodar, apart from being a close friend in Thai, and it's a pleasure to associate with Thai always, and in fact today, you are the president in line who is addressing us, and yesterday it was Anisha, and thanking both of you for the support you all extended and for the commendable support you both made in bringing this to a grand success. While congratulating the award winners for the exceptional performance, I wish to thank my chairman, Mr. Ashik, and my entire team who's out over here at CMA. My grateful thanks to each one of you and congratulations. While I speak on behalf of everybody representing CMA, I wish to congratulate and express my thanks and heartfelt gratitude to those men and women in CMA for how they were able to carry out their work and duty to make this possible, this Silver Jubilee possible in the best possible way, with the glittering Silver Jubilee line in the best possible manner, and by fine-tuning the sequence of events at each and every point. And a huge big thank you to each one of the audience for this valuable presence and staying throughout. With these words, I end my vote of thanks and thanking each one of you. I have a small announcement before I move on. There is one person from Kozhikode, Mr. Faiz, who is on a single solo cycle trip from Calicut to London. His cycle was flagged off on August 15th from Trivandrum. He has traversed across Kerala, and today he is now in Calicut today to see the blessings of Sri Shibu Lal and all others. Mr. Faiz is one person, one cycle, riding across 2 continents, 33 countries, in 450 days, in 33,000 kilometers. One person. Faiz, we can CMA wish to recognize you on the Silver Jubilee year and just get your blessings from all these vibrant dignitaries.
Hi, good evening to all of you. Warm good evening. I hope this Silver Jubilee year, AMC has given a lot of takeaways to all of you. And thank you, Shibu Lal sir, for addressing us. Thank you, Dr. Damodar also for giving your address to CMA. Thanks all the speakers who have attended this program and make this a great success. I congratulate all the awardees for the Silver Jubilee award winners. I also thank all the members, all the past presidents, moreover Dr. Debashish sir and management team of IMK for providing a wonderful venue for us. Thank you everyone. Thank you sir.
So with this, we are coming to the close of the Silver Jubilee Annual Management Convention. We thank each one of you for being here for this wonderful evening. Thank you. We are having a speaker meeting on August 30th. The Minister of State, Rajiv Chandrasekhar, will be addressing the Calicut Management Association as the part of the closing ceremony of Silver Jubilee.